A review of Elon Musk's City of the Future. The future as seen by Elon Musk takes in some interesting futuristic ideas, once only seen in movies, where people travel in rockets, hyperloops and self-driving vehicles. Houses have no need for electricity, as they are powered by solar. Food will also be grown in a non-traditional way. And a time when everyone, no matter where in the world you are, you will have internet access. Schooling will be done differently and our leisure time will be spent in virtual reality. Let's now look at transportation. Future transportation will have us getting from one city to another in significantly shorter times than before. Elon explains that the high cost of purchasing an aeroplane or rocket to be used once is high, therefore it is beneficial to adopt a reuse technique which results in their use being far cheaper to operate and more affordable to passengers. He looks at the development of the Starship as a mode of transportation for people traveling to and from Mars, as well as in from city to city. Additionally, the Starship may also later aid with the movement of cargo. Full implementation of the Starship is expected to take 8 to 10 years. Semi-electronic trucks will be used transporting cargo. Here we will see the cost for delivery decrease. These autonomous trucks are safer for the environment, as trucking amounts for 25% of greenhouse gases released in the environment. Another method of ground transportation is Hyperloop, which facilitates a faster means of transporting people. Hyperloops are considered safe, as they are engineered to prevent crashing. They are immune to weather and operated by self-powered solar panels. Hyperloops are also extremely quiet. Transportation within future cities. Severe traffic affects vehicular movement in cities. The construction of self-driving tunnel networks below the city level, as deep as 50 levels below, will eliminate traffic and transport people faster across cities. These tunnels are to be designed smaller than usual, as autonomous vehicles do not need ventilation as gas-powered vehicles. Additionally, the tunnel will not accommodate oversized emergency vehicles. Autonomous vehicles are fast and can travel through these tunnels as fast as 200 km per hour. They are 200 times safer than human-driven cars. To construct these tunnels smaller and faster, diggers will be needed to dig and reinforce simultaneously. Self-driving cars are safe and require little or no effort to get going. Elon predicts that in 10 years self-driving cars will be utilized by everyone. We will be living in smart houses powered by solar. The construction of gigafactories that make lithium-ion batteries will allow our smart homes to store energy and be fully utilizing renewable energy. Food will grow on vertical farms. Future farming is sustainable by growing foods in climate-controlled spaces. Can you imagine every area of the globe with internet connectivity? Starlink by SpaceX is comprised of thousands of satellites in orbit to provide internet access where it was once impossible, thereby facilitating communication around Mars. Add Astra to the stars. The downloading of data and algorithms in your brain. Elon criticizes the traditional school system. The focus at schools in the future is set on teaching problem solving. Students are engaged in learning artificial intelligence, robotics, ethics of AI and physics. Learning is gamified and there are no grade levels, therefore students can focus on areas in which they are strongest. So future work? What will that be like? In the future there will be fewer jobs, since most things will be done in an autonomous way. A car will be capable of returning home on its own while you work. Your car can make money for you or be shared with family or friends. As a result of autonomous living there will be fewer jobs, therefore people will now have access to a universal income, which is set income earned without working for it. Leisure? Free time will involve lots of inside video games indistinguishable from reality. Collaborative photorealistic games that people play together with VR headsets and forced feedback gloves. Finally, Elon claims humans will be too slow keeping up with AI in the future. Therefore the development of neural links where threads are implanted with chips in the human brain that links humans to a computer. This is already being done with a monkey to control a computer with his brain. Trials are to be done next year with humans. Let us now look at the implications of what we discussed. Elon Musk's city of the future is presented in such a way that the viewer is entrapped in this future of perfection. If we look a little below the surface lies the ethical considerations that must be addressed. Firstly, future transportation. Will the digging and construction of these tunnels affect individuals currently living in the areas? Will the average person be able to afford use of these tunnels? Only the persons who can afford to own a self-driving car will use the tunnel. As a result, a large majority of individuals will still use the road system. Therefore, traffic will not be eradicated entirely. Secondly, artificial intelligence being the backbone of this city of the future. This system needs to be programmed in such a way that it cannot be manipulated or used as ends. It will require strong security measures that cannot be tampered with by individuals or overridden by artificial intelligence itself. What happens if and when artificial intelligence decides to turn against us? Thirdly, neural networks. Will the implanting of threads and chips modify and influence our behaviors? Is it ethical to participate in such an activity? Maynard 2009 raised the concern of ownership and access of data once the implant is done. Another implication ad astra. Though this idea is what many parents would want for their child, how accessible will this kind of learning be? How many families will be able to afford a school of this caliber for their child or children? Additional implications include: what if there is some level of evil that was programmed into the future city? How will the citizen protect against that? What happens if and when artificial intelligence decides to turn against us? Cars in the tunnel decide to stop unexpectedly and remove air to suffocate passengers? And with the tunnels not made to accommodate emergency vehicles? What happens then? Finally, as passengers are transported to and from Mars, should we be concerned about the transfer of contaminated materials that may be harmful to humans and plants on Earth or cause negative impact on Mars? As we dive into the future and embrace technology, stop and think, are there any implications I should be concerned about? Every coin has two sides. Thanks for watching my video. Like, share and subscribe.